Hey, this is Notser, and this is not World of Warships. This is World of Tanks. I initially avoided this game like the plague, not because I don't enjoy history. I love it, and I love tanks. But it had pay-to-win mechanics in the form of gold ammunition, higher penetration. It just allowed you to ignore mechanics in the game, and I don't like that. So I left it alone. And then one of the E3s I saw when I was watching the Microsoft conference that it's coming free to play for Xbox. So I might as well try it. But I'm not going to try it on Xbox. I'm going to try it on the PC because I'm a PC guy. I'm slowly working up. Obviously, I don't play it as much as I do World of Warships. And there are mechanics that I don't like. I don't like how irrelevant some of the classes are. I still don't like how ammo works. I do appreciate that you can buy it with in-game credit now versus only gold. It still takes away some of the strategy. You know, I don't like that. And this enemy Cromwell comes around and I get a really lucky shot. The yellow bulb is indicating what they call sixth sense, which is situation awareness. You actually have to spec into that. Yeah. And the crew skills in this are terrible. It takes forever. It is not as friendly as World of Warships. I wish it was, and I see my counterpart in Enemy Tiger 2. This is the Tiger 2, by the way, or the King Tiger, as the Americans called it. And this street is very defensive for heavies. I have played this map before, and usually heavies go on the street and they just brute force it. There is also an area of raised ground to my east, and a couple friendlies are fighting off. Now, I have swapped to the higher penetrating ammo because we're basically at max armor facing each other. I did try to hit the commander's hatch and it bounced off the top. You might have noticed that. So the next best thing, I'm aiming for that flat surface on the front of the turret. And he keeps bouncing off the top of mine. And I am either missing the target or I am hitting directly on the gun mantlet, I believe. It's not working out as well as it should, and while all this is going on, we're losing the raised area of the map, just to the east. And I recognize that. The KV-5 is pulling back. I don't really want to do this by myself, so I'm going to pull back with the KV-5. Now, you might notice how I'm backing up. You don't want to just turn directly in front of the enemy. You sort of want to back into cover and then complete the 180-degree turn. That way I don't take any shots in the side, and it should theoretically allow me to safely get into position. And the position I'm trying to get into is I want to get flanking fire on any enemy tanks that come down from that raised area. And as I'm doing this, the enemy Tiger 2 spots me out, again, with what they call sixth sense, and I'm sure most of you know. Oh, I know what this is. I'm just trying to explain, and I'm waiting to ambush this guy. The Tiger 2, the enemy Tiger 2 that was on that street, he has moved forward. Now, he is threatening to flank me, and I am trying to be as helpful as I possibly can towards the KV-5. The KV-5, nice. The KV-5 takes out the IS-3 that comes from the area, the eastern side of the map. That's sort of what I was hoping would happen. Enemy Tiger 2 is over on the street, and I'm just trying to side scrape. I think that's what they call it. You basically try to have just a little bit of armor showing, so it's very hard for them to pin. And I'm looking for that commander's hatch, and we do indeed get it, and he, of course, gets me. He knocks out my loader, and I have to heal the loader. I don't know how that happens, but I heal the loader, and before I can reload, he backs away to the other side of the street, around the building over here. Now, it doesn't look good. It's 4 versus... how many? 9. It's 4 versus 9, and we're detected again. And look. The enemy tanks can actually fire from above there, so I recognize that. I put in a shot, and I try and get back into cover. The enemy OI knocks out my tread, which is unfortunate, but it didn't do any damage, and I see that the enemy tank is really low. I actually fire a little bit too slow. The KV-5 takes him out. Now, I just want to make sure only the OI, I think, or O1 can fire at me. And we take artillery, yes. Artillery exists in this game. And I sort of clipped the building that first shot. The second shot did not clip. And I am taking a ton of damage though, so I don't really think it's worth it. There's also an enemy, AMX, and I get him. He probably thought that he was going to be able to rotate around me. Speaking of, he's trying to get around, so I use the body of my tank to smack into him, and I finish him off with my gun. Thankfully, I had enough gun depression. He is a tiny tank. I mean, I think he's a light tank. But you know what else he provides? He provides great coverage. The Germans, after they saw that the Soviet T-34 could take sloped armor, be lighter, and have the equivalent of more armor, they basically put sloping on everything. The Panther, the Tiger II, the Jagdpanther, and oh, that was so lucky. That SP-1C, or I see it and I see another word. That SP-1C, I got so lucky. Another quick, no-aim fire. We actually get the gun to disperse into the target, and the friendly KV-5 has my back. I am expecting the T-32 to come around the corner. So what I do is I use the wreck of this AMX to block my lower glacis. And the Germans, the lower glacis is the weak point. And if I turn around, you should be able to see it. Let's see. I'm not used to the replay. I usually just autopilot the replay and then come back later and change it. You can actually control it pretty well, so this is not looking good. This is probably the most dangerous part. The KV-5 and I are separated, but I want to take out the OI, and the OI doesn't really know I'm here, and we get a nice shot. I'm trying to angle my armor and also minimize the chance of the side pin. And this enemy is, I think he's a Japanese heavy. I shoot one of his boobs, because that's what they are, they're boobs. And we take him out. So now this flank is all of a sudden protected for the KV-5, and I can come back and assist the T-32. There is still a Panther, last known position, over on the eastern side, and I just expect the Panther to come from that side. He's taking a very long time, but I still expect him to try and do that. So I do one quick look. It's probably dangerous that I'm doing this, but I gotta get there for my teammate. I gotta support the KV-5. I'm trying to make him better. He's making me better. I'm gonna swap to a higher penetrating ammo type. I gotta get the T-32 dead. We have to try. So I'm headed in this direction. The KV-5 is headed to try and take out the Panther, as he did flash. And I'm just curious. Maybe he's there. Where could the T-32 be? And I'm not seeing him when I look down, and I just continue driving. And look on the minimap. I got so lucky. Look at how close he could have just shot me in the side. The enemy T-32. He put himself. He was hiding in a little cubbyhole, and the T-32 engages the KV-5. So I just want to make it a 2 versus 1. I knock out his tread. I know it's very hard to move when your treads are knocked out. So the whole objective is to just hold them there and fire into his side corner. And we do a good job of getting damage on the target. He also knocks mine out. Probably showing a little bit too much, but granted, either way, he's going to pin me. I just need to kill him. So we kill him. I swap back to my regular ammo because I don't really need that for a Panther. A Panther is not a heavy tank. And we lose the friendly KV-5. My engine is knocked out now. You might notice the engine. It sounds pretty raw, and I knock out his treads, holding him there. And it looks like he decides to repair it, or he has a really, really effective crew. Either way, I knock out his other one, his outside, and I fire at that lower glacis. It's basically the exact same design as on the Tiger II, and I think I knocked out his engine there. I did not knock out his tread, and I should have probably held him in place one more time. It could cost me this win. And he gets away with 58 hit points. I don't think he's going to be there. But I'm still going to have my turret turned to address him. The only other, well, tank on the enemy team is a self-propelled gun. Artillery. And he is in the base capture. Now, the base capture is on the western side. You can see that flag on the map. I've got to basically go over there and kill him. I have about 2 minutes left, which, you know, I don't need to go crazy in there. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and side scrape out and check ever so cautiously, ever so cautiously. Are you over there? And no, I don't see him on my initial check. I am very close to dying. I think I'm dead to the Panther in 2 shots, if that, maybe 1. And the artillery should kill me. And I'm just trying to be as cautious as I can. Check the side street. That Panther is somewhere. And oh, we detected him. Where is he? I think he's on the corner. I don't think he can see me. So I decide to aim it in all the way, and we get the kill on the enemy self-propelled gun. Enemy Panther comes around the corner at the worst possible moment, 1 to 2 seconds earlier, and he would have gotten a side shot on me. But now he's in trouble. So I get a lucky shot on his tread. It's going to hold him in place. Remember, he probably has already used everything to get out of it. So I just have to wait, and I'm going to go for that lower glacis, which we hit, and the comeback is complete. Great job, KV5. Hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.